So last week we have seen about if conditions, and we have seen few examples also. So using if condition, you can create a new variables. For example, I will show one example. So using set statement, you can read the data set. After that, if you want to create any new variable, you can use the if condition. Uh, then we can create a new variable. Hmm, maybe we'll create a loan. So if sex equal to male, then loan will be like 60,000. If sex equal to female, then loan equal to 80,000. Okay. So if you run this, wherever sex equal to male, the loan will be like 60,000. Wherever sex equal to female, the loan will be like 80. Let's. So you have wherever the male student are there, the loan will be like 60,000. Okay. So this is if condition using first you have to write the condition, and after that use the keyword then. And then if you want to create a new variable, you can create a new variable. Similarly, you can modify the variable also. For example, I want to modify the weight. Uh, So I want to modify the weight like this. If this student is male, then weight will be minus 100, not 100. Let's keep 10 kg uh, to minus 20. Okay. So using this, we can modify the existing variable also. So wherever male student comes, 10 kgs will be reduced. Wherever female student comes, 20 kg will be reduced. Okay. And similarly, we have seen else statement also. Uh, Same thing, using else, we can create. So whenever the sex equal to male, weight will be reduced by 10. All other places, weight equal to weight minus 20. So okay. So we can you can use else. You can use else whenever there is only two conditions. Okay. Otherwise, if you have more than two condition, use two if statement. Like there is one more gender equal to, for example, transgender is that, then use something like this. Okay. Use two if statement, and then you can use the else statement. Okay. So this is what we have seen last week. Now we will see new topic. We will see about the loop. Okay, loop is nothing but a programming construct that allows you to execute a block of statement multiple times in a controlled manner. Okay, we will see what it is in the upcoming slide. We will see a lot of examples. Okay, simply what it means is, so for example, so assume that this is one statement a equal to 1 plus 10. In loop, what we will do is we will run this statement for 10 or 20 times. We will run the same statement 10 or 20 times. Okay. Uh, so a single statement will run for a multiple times in loop. Why loop? Because if you want to do any repetitive task, you can automate using a set of codes. It can save time and effort and efficiency also. You can avoid writing the same code repeatedly. Okay. And flexibility. Loop offers flexibility in controlling the number of iteration based on different conditions. Okay. So we will see what is the syntax for do loop. The in do loop, the code start with the do keyword. After that, okay, what is the loop type and what is the starting number of the loop and what is the end number of the loop? We will see some examples, you will understand. And after the end of the code, you have to close the loop by giving the end statement. So there are three types of loop. I have mentioned after do, you have to mention the loop type, right? So there are three types of loop. One is do. Do simply, you have to give the starting number and the increment value. Okay, so you have to give what is the initial counter and what is the increment value. Do until it will repeat a block of code until a specific condition is met. So we will see example also here, and there is one more loop, do while. Repeat a block of code as long as a specific condition is true. So it may look similar, do until and do loop while, but we will see some examples so you will understand. Okay. So, okay. So, this is one example. Okay. So there is something called in my initial balance. For assume you have a bank account, you have a balance of 2,000 rupees. Okay. So you are putting that you are expecting a interest for 6 months. Okay. Every 6 months. Just a minute. I'm getting. Just give a minute. Just be online for 2 minutes. I'm getting on urgent call. Just be online 2 minutes. Okay, we will start again. Okay. So in the do loop, assume that you have an initial bank balance of 2,000 rupees, and then 6 months you are expecting an interest of 1,000 rupees per month. Okay. So I'm having a initial balance equal to 1,000 rupees, 2,000 rupees. Okay. And assume that in every month you are getting 1,000 rupees. It's not practically feasible, but just an example. Okay. So you are getting interest 1,000 rupees. Okay. Assume that instead of interest, I'm keeping I. Okay. So every month I will get 1,000 rupees interest. So my 2,000 rupees. So plus interest. Okay, interest 1,000 rupees. It will be added every 6 months. Every month the 1,000 rupees will be added. Okay. So maybe what I will do now it will become 3,000. Okay, at the end of okay. After that, I will again write a code 4,000. So my same statement, it will be repeated for 6 times. Okay. The same statement will be repeated 6 times. Okay. Now in loop, what we will do is, so interest will be I using do loop, I will run this code 6 times. Okay. So we will write our code like, first we will start with the data statement. Okay. And then I am putting bank balance. So my output name is bank balance. Okay. And then you have to tell SAS what is your balance amount is. Okay. And then you have to tell the interest. Okay. So I means iteration. Okay. Assume that I means iteration. So what this code will do is, okay. So what we did is, we are telling the same statement will run for 6 times. Okay. So in first iteration, the statement will run. So the same code will run from 6 iteration. If you want to run 8 iteration, the same statement to run for 8 times, you have to give the starting number, what is the initial counter, and what is the ending number. Okay. So the same statement will run for 8 times. Okay. So 1 minute there is. Okay. 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 So again, I will explain. So in generally, what SAS will do is you have to initially give what is the bank balances, and then you have to tell the do loop do statement. What is the when is the iteration start? It starts from first iteration and it start end to eighth iteration. Okay, so in each iteration, the 2000 will be added with I. Okay, this is just for example. Okay, in first iteration, what it will happen is the balance will be 2000 plus 1. Okay, in second iteration, in first iteration I will be equal to 1. In second iteration, balance will be like plus 2. Okay, so in each iteration I will be replaced. Okay, so in first iteration the I will be 1. In second iteration I will be 2. Third iteration, so here after you add 2001 plus 2 it will become 2003 and then 3. Okay, so this is not a interest example, this is a basic example. Okay, so I will come to interest example after some time, but generally what happens is in each iteration I will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so you have to give the initial encounter first, initial number, and where it ends. Okay, so in fourth iteration, it will balance will become 2006 plus 4. Okay, that will become 2010. Okay, so the same statement will repeat for 8 times, and each iteration I will be replaced by the actual number. Okay, 1 to 8. In first iteration 1, second iteration 2, third iteration 3, fourth iteration it will be 4. Similarly, until 8, it will keep on adding. Okay. So app once you run, you can see okay. Okay. So simply you keep balance plus I. If you keep balance plus, okay, 2000 plus I means every iteration balance will be 2000. Okay. So you simply keep balance plus I. It will keep on adding 1 plus 2 plus 3. Okay. So in first iteration, 2000 plus 1, second iteration, 2000 plus 2. Yeah. So the same statement will be repeated 8 times. Okay. Balance plus I. Okay. As I shown earlier. Okay. Similarly, we will see another example. Okay. Give me a minute. Okay. So we will see two examples for each loop type. Okay. So we will see one square example. Okay, I'm storing the output in the name of square. Okay. So what I'm doing is similarly, I am telling SAS how many iteration I have to follow. I'm going to follow 5 iterations. Okay. So what I'm doing is after that, I'm giving one statement square equal to I into I. And then I'm ending the loop and then I'm closing. So, okay. So if anybody knows the answer, okay, can you put the answer in the chat? What this statement will give? Okay, square equal to I into 5. If anybody knows the answer, put it in a chat. So what this code will do? Do I equal to 1 to 5 and in square equal to I into I. Can you tell what the code will give the output? What the output we will get? Yes, perfect, Samkriti. You are correct. So in first iteration, the square will be like 1 into 1 equal to 1. In second iteration, I will be 2. 2 into 2, 4. In third iteration, I will be 3. So 3 into 3 equal to 9. Okay. And in fourth iteration, 16. Okay. Fifth iteration, 5 equal to 25. Okay. Perfect. This is the correct. Similarly, if you want, if you want cube, you can put I into I. Okay. So yeah. So so here also the same statement will be repeated for 5 times. So in do statement, you have to tell what is the starting iteration is and what is the end iteration is. Okay. So this is the example for do loop. Okay. So there is one more loop. Okay. That is by increment status. Okay. So here I'm giving, there is a bank balance 2000. Okay. And here what it will do is in every iteration, first iteration it will be added by 1 and in second iteration it will be added by 2. Similarly, if I put 100, the same statement will be repeated until 100 times. Okay. So after that, my balance will be like 7,050 rupees. Okay. Now, but here in first iteration, the I value will be 1. In second iteration, I value will be 3. So it will go on until 100 times. Okay. Now I want in my first iteration, I equal to 1. And in second iteration, I want I equal to 3. And third iteration, I want I equal to 5. Okay. And I want increment by 2. Okay. So then first iteration 1, second iteration 3. I want increment by 2. Okay. If you want in first iteration, I will be 1, second iteration 3, 5, 7, 9. Similarly, it will go until 100. Okay. So until 99 it will go. Okay. So if you want like that, what you have to do is you have to give by 2. Then in first iteration, I will be 1, second iteration 3, 5, fifth iteration, third iteration 5. So whenever you are giving some incremental number, the iteration value will change this. Okay. If you give by 3, then in first iteration I will be 1, second iteration I will be 4, third iteration I will be 7, fourth iteration I will be 10. Okay. Similarly, fifth iteration, I will be 13. So whenever you are giving some increment value, the iteration value will also differ. Okay, I think it is going until 103. Okay. So you're in do loop, you can give starting and end iteration. If you don't give, it will iterate by 1. Okay. If you don't give anything, it will default, it means by 1. But if you give something by 2, then the iteration value will change this. Okay. Okay. We will see one more example for by and do loop. So similarly, if you want square, so here what it will do is in first iteration, it will take 1 square. Okay. And second iteration, it will take 6. And yeah. And third iteration, it will be 11. And then it will be 16, and then it will take 21. Okay. So until it reaches 20, it will keep on adding by 5. Okay. So now if you see here, the first iteration will be 1, right? So the square value will be 1 is to 1. And then cube, it will be like 1 is to 1 into 1. And in second iteration, it will be 36. Cube will be 6 cube is 236, 36, yeah. 6 cube, whatever it is. Okay. So in third iteration, square will be 11 into 11. And then cube will be 11 into 11 into 11. Okay. So this is how, but in SAS, if you run this, you will be able to see only the final loop value. Okay. It won't show the entire loop value. But if you want to see that, what you have to do is you have to store the output. Okay. So now we will see how to store this. Okay. I'm just including only square. Just a minute. I will explain this code. Just a minute. So I will explain what it is. So if you don't use a put statement, SAS will display only the last iteration value. Okay. Okay. So I will start with one simple example. So I'm creating one variable, and in each iteration it will be added plus one. Okay. Uh, See, now what it is doing is it's taking only the fifth iteration value, and then it is giving the result. Okay. So in first iteration, it will be like 1 plus 1, 2. Okay. In second iteration, it will be like 2 plus 1 equal to 3. Okay. Similarly, it will each iteration it will be processed. Okay. But SAS, what it is doing is it is displaying only the final iteration value. Okay. If you want to see all the iteration values, we have to use something called put statement. Okay. So what it will do is it will display the each iteration value. Simply put, what is that iteration is, and then equal to, and don't put any other thing in after equal to. And then after that, you have to use proc print. Okay, I will explain what this is proc print is. Okay, so if you want to display the each iteration value, okay, so what you have to do is use a put statement and then use what is the iteration is, and then equal to what it will do is it will display the what is the each iteration is doing is. Okay, okay, so whenever you want to display what is the uh, what is the in each iteration what is the a value is, you can use put statement. This will display what is the I value and what is the A value. Okay. Suppose if you don't, so output is also mandatory. You have to use put statement and output statement. Okay. So you need not to put any other thing other than output. Okay. If you don't use this, it will display only the final iteration value. Okay. So if you put this, put I equal to, and then output, this will display each iteration value. Okay. Similarly, we can try here also in bank balance example. So in first iteration, balance is 2001. In second iteration, 2004. And then each iteration, it will keep on increasing. Okay. So now we have seen how to print each iteration value using put statement and output statement. If you don't use, it will display only the final iteration value. Okay. So this is for do loop. Okay. So we have another example, nested do loop. Okay. 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 So there is one thing. Okay. There are, for example, we are creating two loops inside a same code that is called nested loop. Okay, so here there are 10 years, so we are running a loop first year to 10 years. Under each year there are 12 months. Okay, so each year, for year we are creating one iteration, and then for month we are creating under one iteration. Okay, so what it will do is I will open a one Excel sheet. So we are having 12 years, right? So what it will do is in first iteration, it will create a first year value. Okay. And then we are having 12 months. So under first year, it will create 12 months. Okay. So this is for first year. And then it will start with the second year. Okay. In second year also it will create 12 months. One, two, three, four. Okay. So in SAS, if you want to use something nested loop, you have to start with the year. Okay. And then, okay. So start with the year 1 to 10. So in first iteration, year 1. And then inside year, we are creating month. Okay. So after that month under year one, it will execute for 12 months and then it will go again. And then year two will start. After year two, the same month will be executed 12 times. Okay. So we will see this code in SAS. Okay. So here, uh, okay. Okay. So if you use output statement, it will come, okay, capital year and month. Okay. And along with that, we will use put statement also. So our iteration name is here, right? And then I want to change it as years. Okay. Okay. So previously I told only put statement and output statement. It will create a it will print iteration for each loop, right? Okay, so I think only output statement is required. Okay, simply putting output statement, it will display all the iteration. But using put statement, we can do some modification. If you want to modify the iteration name, if you don't want to display year, instead you want to display years. So what you can do is you can put a new variable name here. Okay, and then equal to what is the iteration name. And I also don't want to display month, I want to display months. Okay, so if you want to change the iteration name, you can use it here. I'm just putting new year, new months. Okay, Okay, we will. There is a machine in the put statement, but we will use only output statement. So only using output statement, it is displaying all the loop values. Okay, if you don't use output statement, it will display only the final iteration value. Okay, so now I will ask some questions. Okay, so again I will repeat. Here in first iteration, the year one will be the one two. Okay, so in first iteration, year one will be repeated 12 times, and then months will be like one, two, three. Okay. So once it completes 12 months, the year two will go. Okay. So this in your code, if there is two do loop, you should have two end statement. Okay. So in first end, do loops ends here, and second do loop ends here. Okay. Now we will use output statement also. So here, if you see the first year, it is repeated for 12 times, and then second year, and third year, fourth year. Okay. Okay. So this is the code for year and month. Okay. Now I want you to write me a code which display. Okay. Okay. Maybe I will show it in an Excel file. I want two things. Okay. One is week. Okay. Another is day. Okay. So there are 4 weeks, right? 4 weeks and 7 days, right? So I want something like, so it should go until 4 weeks and 7 days. Okay. So this code is for year and month. I want to have a code. You need not to mention about capital and all. Okay. I want a code which should have, instead of year, it should have week, and then it should have 7 days. Okay. If you write a code, can you write a code and put it in a chat? So here there are 10 years and 12 months. Okay. But I want 4 weeks and 7 days. If you know the code, put it in a chat. If anybody knows the answer, you can put it in a chat. Okay. Okay. I will wait for another 1 minute. If you know the answer, you can put it in a chat. Okay, it's okay, fine. I will write the code on my own now. It's okay. Okay. So what you have to do is start with the weeks. There are 4 weeks, right, in a month, and then use another loop for days. Okay. And then end. Okay. And then you can use output statement to display the each iteration value. So this will display 7 weeks and 4 weeks and 7 days. Okay. Yeah, correct. Cement, perfect. Perfect. Very good. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So we will see one more loop. Okay. Do until. Okay. Do until means we have to write a statement here. Okay. So your loan equal to loan minus 500. Okay. So what it will do is it will run the statement, it will run the iteration until loan becomes zero. Okay. So until loan becomes zero, this code will be executed. Okay. So in first iteration, the loan is 3,000, 30,000. Okay. So loan will be like 30,000 minus 500. Okay. And then, okay, maybe I will give simple example. Do until what it will do is we are saying loan equal to 3,000, for example. And then we are saying do until loan equal to zero. Okay. And then if you write like loan equal to, what it will do is in first iteration, loan equal to 3,000, right? It will become like 2,500. Okay. And in second iteration, it will become 2,500. Okay. So until this condition is met, the code will be executed. Okay. So in until loop, under this until the condition is met, loan equal to zero, until loan equal to zero, this code will be keep on executed. Okay. So it will run until six loop. Okay. So if you put until thousand, until thousand, Then until this code, it will be executed. Okay. So whatever condition you are putting, until that, the statement will be executed. Okay. Okay. So in first iteration, 30,000 minus 500. After that, it is 29,000. It is keep on decreasing by 5,000. And then until it becomes zero, it stops. Okay. So here, if you put loan equal to minus 1,000, it will go until minus 1,000. Okay. So this is until. Okay. Do until. So until the condition is met, the statement will be keep on executed. Okay. So there is one more loop. Okay. That is while loop. Okay. So this loop will continue executed while the condition you have specified remains true. Okay. So here there is one condition, loan greater than zero. Okay. So until greater than zero, this condition statement will be executed. Okay. Once it becomes lesser than zero, this condition will be stopped. Okay. So I'm removing while. So while loan greater than zero, this step will be executed. Okay, greater than or equal to zero, this step will be executed. Okay, once it became lesser than zero, okay, let's put only greater than. Once it start raising zero or minus, it will stop. Okay. Okay, so until and while is similar. Okay, so until means it will continue executing until the condition you have become true. Okay. Until loan is equal to zero, it will keep executing. Okay. And the while also you can do one more thing. You mention I'm putting when loan is greater than 1 lakh, it will keep on increasing. Okay. So loan will be in each iteration, it will be increased by 500. After it reach 1 lakh, it will stop executing. Okay. I think there is some issue. So until means until the condition became true, the statement will be executed. This one, while the condition is true, the statement will be executed. Okay. So if you put loan greater than 10,000, so until okay, while loan greater than zero, it will stop, keep on executing. Okay, once it become minus, it will stop executing. Okay, so that is the difference. Okay, okay. So now I have a question. If you know the answer, put it in a chat. Okay. So, in which loop type is suitable for iterating through the range of values specified by starting and ending point? Which loop has starting and ending point? If you know the answer, put it in a chat. Which loop will have starting and ending point? If you know the answer, put it in a chat. Yeah, Sumit, perfect, correct. So do loop will have starting and end point. Okay. So here if you see do I equal to 1 to 6. So I in do loop we will have starting point and end point. So what is the characteristics of do while loop? Okay, it may be a little confused or okay. Okay. So what is the primary difference between the do loop and do while loop? If you know the answer, put it in a chat. Okay. So Suman, you are saying A and C, right? Okay. So the answer you are saying C, right? The answer is A. Okay, you have already mentioned A. The do loop it iterates the specific number of time 1 to 5, 1 to 10. While the do while life until it iterates based on the condition. Okay. So we should mention in bracket what is the condition we have to give. Until the condition met, the it will keep on running. Okay. 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 I think that's it from my side. I will give one assignment for if condition and do loop. Already two people have submitted the assignment for the first topic. So people who have not completed the first assignment, please complete and send it to me. For a certificate, you have to complete all the assignments. Okay, so I will send the second assignment by today. So you have to complete the second assignment by next Friday. If you don't, if you haven't completed the first one, please send both first and second assignment. Okay. So if you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, we will close this session. Okay. I will take it as no. We thanks everyone. We will see next week. Thank you. Thank you.